It's the coach. This is Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, Devontae Freeman. Fresh off 100 yards a week ago. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Just 2 weeks left in the regular season, so not many opportunities left. But I've got to tell you, I think he's had an MVP type of a season, and I just hope that everyone who votes doesn't go to sleep and already have their ballots cast.
I think there are a couple others in the national media who feel that way, too. You and I have been discussing this race since the calendar hit December, as have many other, but I think it's going to take 8 big quarters for him to truly have consideration. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork, knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Casey. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school, he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. That false start knocks him back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. They run, Devontae Freeman. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 11 carries, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
And he has 12 touchdowns on the ground this season, so you know he's a big part of their offense. They count on him, not only to score the touchdowns, but now they can play action, fake it to him, throw it out to the wide receivers, get it to other players who can also produce.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, they're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
Gets it off to Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw is Rodgers. To throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Throwing is Rodgers. Flushed out right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. On 2nd down, Freeman. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 41, Ryan, and he gets this one to Ridley complete. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
To throw on 3rd down, Ryan, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
The numbers for Jones last week, 11 carries, 64 yards. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He gets this to Davante Adams. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender up.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out. How are we going to slow down this running game? Because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Pulled in at the 24. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the 2nd quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So, kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
Well, they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 50 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Now Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Problems on 3rd down so far in this 1st half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having ball balls go through goalposts.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Off the play, fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. It's complete to the tight end, Clay. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Check.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. They going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Ryan. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A pretty good looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 2nd down, it's Freeman. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Ryan now off the bootleg. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 17-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback. No matter the situation in there, the defense won the battle. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Here's tight end Clay, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Ryan will throw again. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. The kick by Fairbairn is good. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
26.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And able to find Alan Lazard. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running. Continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Hey, here we go. Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike 27.
Rodgers to throw once more. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Rodgers again now. And that's complete to Adams. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what,
We got this. Box it. Run. 27, check Mike 27. Not here. Mike 27, Mike 27. Check 30. Big series right here, so we got to step it up. Hey, check Mike. Look at this.
Rodgers now on 1st down. It's caught here by Adams. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Certainly worth it. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Alan Lazard as the first half is winding down. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where it was the visiting Cardinals who get the road victory. Kyler Murray, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head out west to the Golden State. Check on the Rams at home in L.A. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. Daniel Jones has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons. On 1st down, Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Julio Jones, the lone receiver left. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a 3rd and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
So it's a third field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
No, they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the post.
And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And we roll the highlights of the game he's had. You know, when we talk about wide receivers and how you shut them down, what about when you have a tight end like this having a game? How do you stop him defensively?
It really changes what you're trying to do because defensively you're worried more about the wideouts, okay? Going to cover them, the running backs, how are you going to shut them down? But the tight end is that elusive, unique player. Linebacker cover him, cornerback cover him, safety covering him, always has the advantage, usually has final answer against anyone who tries to defend them.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tack McKinley able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
On play action. Now Rodgers. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now this throw caught left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On third down, Ryan. Open man is Higgins. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that'll get the lead down to 5. It can be a thankless job sometimes to be a kicker, but they're thanking him right now. That's now 4 field goals. He's kept him in the game.
He sure has, and that offense has got to find its rhythm because I'm not sure that just kicking field goals is going to allow them to win this game.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Just bowling over tacklers. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Hey, let's go.
Back now in Atlanta. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter.
Check 20. Hey, high 7.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, you know, if they're humming along, The defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jonnu Smith with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. So they are holding down one of the final wild card spots. And with 2 weeks to go, there are others kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And imagine what the talk has been all week within their locker room. And it's really, let's rely on ourselves, because they could get help and still get to the playoffs. But who wants that? Go out, win the game, take care of things yourself, and then you don't have anything else to worry about.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw is Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 21 yards there on 3rd down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the shotgun, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Again, Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Give him 6 yards in the first down. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. And a pass from Ryan complete to Freeman. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Ryan finding Julio out wide. And he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Ryan will throw again. And that's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw again is Ryan. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. They wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This pass complete to Higgins. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Again, it's Jones. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So Ryan and the Falcons down by 12. 2:12 to play. A crushing loss to their playoff chances on the horizon, barring a huge turnaround here, starting with 1st and 10. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 34. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. To throw again on second down. Ryan gets it off to Freeman. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now Ryan. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
They're going on fourth down. It's Ryan. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. 61, matchbox, lights. Hey, Mike. Check 45 to Mike. Hey, box drop, box drop. Too little, cut. 45, 45, 45, Mike, 45. Here we go.
Rodgers throwing here. It's caught here by Adams.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check it out, read.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Hey, check 26. Mike 27, Mike 27, Mike 27.
Five.
Check Mike 27, check Mike 27. Hey, get
To throw is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Let's go. 45's the Mike. 45's the Mike.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got to hook up to Lazard. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Ready? 10 logo.
27. Down to lose 1.
Snap.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee.
Go now. 15 line. 15 line.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. 4 there. 4 there. Alert.
Hit it.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So so it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Green Bay, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.